Hello, everybody. This is Nick Coco, and I'm the guitarist for Sonny Blue and the Moons. And today I'm going to talk to you about my rig and my rig setup, because I get a lot of questions about the different guitars that I use and the different pedals that I use and how I control noise and all kinds of other things. I've got 4 guitars on the stage with me. The first one being this Strat right here, my Detroit Strat, built out for me by Mark Wenninger. He went through and isolated all the pickups inside here, made sure the bridge and everything was grounded, all the best caps, all those things are on it. And when you do that, it really does an amazing job of taking care of both the tone and the noise. And then I want to talk to you about some of my other guitars here. My newest guitar in the collection. This is my Reverend Eastsider T. Real excited about that. Play a little bit of that for you in just a little bit. Of course, my 1984 Les Paul humbucker. It's just phenomenal. I've had this guitar since it was new, and it is absolutely amazing. It's been a workhorse guitar for me. And then this is my 1956 Les Paul Gold Top Voss. Yes, this is a reissue. It's not an original, but it is amazing. And I get a lot of questions about noise and how to control the noise and things along those lines. So what I thought I would do in this video today is just talk a little bit about the noise levels generated by the different pickups. Of course, humbuckers are the quietest pickup ever built. They just are, okay? You get high output, high gain, and very low noise. But the thing about the humbucker is that it's incredibly smooth. And when you want grit, when you want a little bit of edge, when you want that chicken picking feel, oh, there is nothing like a single coil. And that's why I've got 1 humbucker and 3 sets of single coils up here. So let's talk about this. And what I thought I would do is I would set up a decibel meter, which I have set up right over here. And what the decibel meter is going to do is it's going to measure the different amounts of output from my amp. And my favorite amp is my Mesa 525. I love this amp. All cleaned up and maintained by the great Dean Zink. And I got to tell you, this amp is just amazing. So what I'm going to do for today is I'm going to set the amp, all the knobs on the clean channel, because that's typically what I use is the clean channel, with all the knobs set at halfway or noon or 50%, however you want to look at it. And that's really important because we don't normally would play that way, but for the sake of looking at output and noise generated, it's easier if we have everything set the same. So I'm going to flip my amp on here, okay, and I'm going to make sure my volumes are off on my guitar. And by the way, I'm in the studio with a bunch of tungsten filament bulbs. So this is pretty close to real world. You know, when you get out there on the stage, yeah, a lot of lighting setups now are LED, but there's still plenty of old-fashioned par cans, and I'm running old-fashioned par cans in here. I wanted to add as much noise to the ambience as I could to make it as real as possible for you. Okay, so as we look right now, and I'll shut up for just a second, we look at the screen here, we can see how many dBs the amp and the room is generating. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to turn my guitar on, or volume up, I should say, on these single coils. And you can see that we've picked up 2 to 3 dBs. Okay, and right now, with my pedal board in front of me here, I got all my pedals turned off. There are no pedals on except for my wireless unit. Okay, so we look back at that decibel meter, we get a pretty good idea of what our output is. So and I think I saw it peak out at about 107, 108 dBs. Okay? All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm back to our standard setting here, back to our level setting, volumes all the way up. Again, switch all the way down. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my OCD, which my volume is set at 9 o'clock, my drive is set at 9 o'clock, and my tone is set at 2 o'clock. Listen to that noise, that single coil noise right there. And we see on our decibel meter, we're now generating about 72 dBs. So, OCD off, OCD back on, okay? And you can see by the decibel meter that we're not actually any louder, we're just noisier. But that's the thing about pedals. Pedals make noise. They add noise to single coils, but they also add grit. So with that noise comes some grit. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch from these 3 single coils. I'm going to switch over here, turn my tuner on so I can open my signal chain. And now I'm going to switch to my East Sider T. We're going to turn back on here. And let's look at the output of these. Again, I'm going to use the treble pickup here. Volumes all the way up, tones all the way up. Okay? The OCD is off. And we can see that we're at a very nice quiet level. Again, just the amp, no pedals. OCD on. And you hear that grit. That's that single coil grit. Just amazing. Just amazing. Okay. Now, we'll switch over to the P90s. And again, OCD is off. You can see where that dB meter is right now on this on these P90s, because I got to tell you, P90s, they get a bum rap, but they're really quite a good high output pickup. All right, let's see with the OCD on now. There's that noise. Pretty impressive. We'll go to the gold standard, which of course is the Les Paul with humbuckers. Okay, OCD is off, okay? And there's our bass. and with the OCD on. Nothing like sustain. Nothing like sustain. So, very, very cool guitars. Each guitar brings its own character to the game. And then you play in that character to get the sounds that you want. I'm blessed to have a fabulous pedal board here that includes awesome pedals. But the mainstay is clean or dirty. That's the mainstay to guitar. That's the mainstay to the blues. That's the mainstay to rock and roll. I'm Nick Coco. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out, baby.